Hi, welcome to Gravity this season. In this episode, we'll be addressing golf. Now with golf, there are so many people playing golf these days. Chances are you as a trainer have an incredible opportunity to market yourself with a golf-specific program. In our program today, our objectives that we're going to address are the most obvious issues with golf and people training to perform better out on the golf course. So number one, think about how unilateral golf is. We have a lot of imbalance issues that come out from people who are playing golf a lot, especially if you think the swing, the step pattern, the stance, everything is really happening on one side of the body. So with a good training program on the GTS, you now have the opportunity to balance that out for the person. You can make sure that they're not developing tighter muscles that could potentially lead to injury on one side without also strengthening the other side of their body. We're going to look at overall power increasing, just developing that strength and power. If you think about your drive and wanting it to get that much farther and go that much better for you, then power is going to be your friend. And we have some unique exercises with the GTS. You'll see how we can train for power. Also, how about flexibility? If we don't think about blending in some exercises that allow one side of the body to release while the other side works, then we're also not giving our body that full opportunity to develop in balance. So we'll have some exercises that even though they're working one side, they're actually letting you release and strengthen and lengthen the opposite side. So for total body conditioning, you'll see some exercises for power. We've got that covered. But also, lastly, we want to think about injury prevention. And in some of the joints that are used often, the wrists and the shoulders, by strengthening the muscles and the tendons and ligaments around those joints, we can help stabilize them and therefore decrease our risk of injury. So we're going to get right into the workout here. We've got our 2 days of workout. If you've been following the series, we give you a sample workout using our exercises. So I'm going to have Nicole come on in. Hi, Nicole.
Hi, Trish. How are
Nice to see you.
Good to see you.
I'm going to just set that there. We're going to go ahead and get set up here on the GTS. Now, our exercises, if you'll see on your list, you might see primary exercises, secondary exercises. Primary exercises are going to be those that directly relate to movements and the muscle groups used predominantly in golf. But secondary exercises are just as important. Those are going to allow us to keep that body in balance and develop total body conditioning. Now these have been blended into 2 separate workouts just to give you an idea of how you can mix these exercises together. We won't be doing a lot of repetition here, but we will in the program talk about sets and reps, which typically is going to be closer to 3 sets and 15 to 20 reps for each exercise. So use your regular training principles with your client, but just apply these workouts using them. Okay, I'm going to come around the other side here for Nicole. As you can see, she's doing a basic bilateral squat. This is our first exercise on day 1. What it's allowing us to do is give us a total body workout, or warm-up, get her really just going with the flow, get her comfortable on the GTS. But we are also training the quadriceps and the glutes. Very, very important for power. Even if you think you're swinging a club with your arms, the power's coming from your legs. From the squat, nice job, we're going to move our feet up a little, turn the toes out, and move right into a bridge squat. So the bridge squat is a tricky exercise for some of your clients to get. But what we're doing here, as you can tell, is Nicole is now challenging her core stability and being able to maintain a certain position with her trunk and her torso and still develop power and training through the legs. So it's a very nice controlled movement here. And just by changing the tempo, quicker, slower, that kind of thing, you can change the load on the muscles. Main thing is watch that as they do this exercise, the hips don't raise up higher. Okay, good job. So again, we had stability with mobility. That was a great exercise to train for that. Now the single leg lateral squat, go ahead and turn facing that way for me, and your left foot's gonna come in the front corner. Okay, moving towards the back, especially if you're training men who have a little bit harder time scooting back on the glide board. They worry about falling off. You just want to make sure they're as far back as they can be to give them that length in front. We want the knee to be tracking over the foot but not going past the toe. Unilateral training here of the legs. Think about the transfer of the load when you're hitting the golf ball from one leg through to the other. So we want to have strength all the way through, from start all the way through to the end. Good. So single leg lateral, again, developing glutes. Those are your power muscles. We really want to hit those in our workout. Nice. Also getting some good knee stability challenge there. So from single leg lateral squat, we're going to move out of our leg workout. Not completely, but you'll see what I mean in just a moment. We're going to go into some exercises using the pulleys. So I'm actually going to go down just a little lower for Nicole on this one, because you're going to see, we also want to come down. Actually, you're kneeling, so we can stay up there. I am going to have Nicole perform this exercise kneeling, so watch, make sure she anchors in. You always want to check that with your clients. Okay, so before we start, just remember, this position is a pretty advanced position. Any client of yours that's not comfortable being in a high kneeling position, you could put the support wedge pillow behind them, or they could go down to low kneeling, or even go to seated. But Nicole's our advanced athlete here today. You are, you didn't know that, but you are. So we're gonna work from a high kneeling position. So from here, we're gonna go into a reverse fly. Good. Now I still have the pins on the inside, because Nicole, being rather petite, that will work for us. If you have somebody with a longer arm span, then you definitely want to move your pin placement to accommodate that. So this is a very basic, slow and controlled reverse fly. Really great for developing the back of the arm and the upper back. Back of the shoulder. These are the muscles that help with deceleration of that swing. So it's important for us to remember we need to have control in our deceleration, not just our acceleration. So we could go one arm at a time, two arms. There's a lot of variations you can do with that. Right from there, I'm going to have you go into a kneeling upright row. Now, we're on pin placement 3, so if I really wanted to emphasize the upright motion for the shoulders, what I would do is drop